What is up, everyone? What's up, Celeste?
Yo, 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 it's your girl Celeste up in here.
Ew. What the fuck was that?
Remember to like and subscribe. I don't know.
Like and subscribe. Actually, yeah, well, let's use that as a segue real quick. You can now catch the podcast live on Twitch as always. You can watch the
Hey,
VOD on YouTube, or you can also look us up
YouTube.
on Spotify and iTunes now.
Woo woo!
Yeah, that's a cool thing that happened this
We
past week.
invading other platforms,
Yeah.
my dudes.
We're
So
encroaching.
it
Oh man, how was your week?
was okay. Could
Mine,
be better.
mine was long, man. But I was looking forward to seeing your reaction to the best anime, Beastars.
I just got a few words.
Yeah,
A lot of inner monologuing.
yeah, there is. I'll give you that one. There's a lot of like talking to yourself in your head.
Dude, it's like they would be having a situation and then it's like inner monologue and then the guy says one sentence and then that guy goes into inner monologue and
To the point where
that
the main
guy
character doesn't even know what's happening because he's just talking to himself in his head.
yeah.
So, for those that don't know, Beastars is the show that we watched the 5 episodes or more of for this past week,
Just a
and
five.
yeah, and Beastars is an anime where every character is an animal, and they go to school just like normal humans. They're what's the word? Anthropomorphized?
Yeah, I can't say it.
Yeah, that word. They're humanized. They wear
Yes,
they wear clothes, they stand upright, all that good stuff.
they talk
They
in
talk
inner monologue.
and inner monologue a lot, and it's what's the best way to explain it? Would you call it a slice of life? No, right?
No, it's more of a drama. I think it's
Yeah.
a drama.
Yeah. So let me just jump right into like the first episode. It you start up the episode on Netflix or wherever else you're watching it, and it just straight up
No.
cold opens with like an alpaca running for his life, like screaming, tears, out of breath. We have
We're
no idea.
classmates.
We have no idea what's happening, and he just gets like viciously murdered. And then it just
Yeah.
goes to like the next morning, and they're like, "Hey, somebody died," and all the
Yeah, you know
animals
that
are like,
alpaca
"What?"
is dead.
Yeah,
He's dead.
and like right here, the the whole concept of it being like animals works better. Oh my god, I just see Len dancing on the Discord. The he's just going at it.
He's not dancing about the situation. Len's just
Yeah,
dancing.
there's a dead alpaca. Woo. So this is the alpaca.
There we go.
He's running
My
for
bad.
his life. He's like bleeding and stuff. We don't see who his killer is. We just see a silhouette. Um, that's not even gonna be a thing for the rest of the season. If I'm being perfectly honest, they just kind of forget about this murder. If I'm being perfectly honest with you, it like
his
basically,
death was meaningless.
I mean, it gets mentioned like a few times, but there's no like overarching investigation into it until season 2, which isn't out yet. But I know that because I read the manga. Um, but this is him, and then it cuts to the next morning, and like I was saying, this is where the whole like group of animals thing comes into effect because all the herbivores and the carnivores have split up into their own respective groups. Um, because they know that it was a carnivore that killed the herbivore, and some of them do it out of spite, like oh fuck you carnivores, like it's your fault, and some of them do it unconsciously because it's animal instinct. They want to survive.
Racist.
Um, and that's where we meet our main character, Legoshi, and he's
Lego.
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 He's a very large gray wolf. I think they say he's like 6'1",
He's
And
tall.
yeah, he's like super like he's strong. So because he's a wolf, they're like one of the strongest
I think that he's a
animals.
gray wolf.
Yeah, he's a gray wolf.
He's a gray wolf.
So he's big, he's strong, but he's very quiet and timid.
Oh my! Inner monologues a lot.
And he's like silent in the back of the I want to say class, but it wasn't a class. It was like he's in a drama club, so it was like a meeting for the drama club. And he's like he does stage work, so he's working on the lights, and he's like staring down at people. And there's a female alpaca, and he's just like staring at her. So everyone's like, "Oh my god, it must have been Legoshi," because he's like staring at her as if she's next. And they're like, everyone starts arguing over like who it could be. And I want to point out there was like all this arguing happening, and then there was like a little chipmunk that's like, I can't get these walnuts open. Where's Legoshi? And it's the fucking cutest thing. It's this tiny chipmunk. Um, so they all start thinking it's him because he's just like eyeing her. So it cuts ahead, and it's like nighttime, school's over. They want all the students to go home because, somebody was just murdered on school grounds. Um, so the female alpaca, she's walking home, and Legoshi's following her. So like first time watchers are like, oh shit, this guy's a murderer.
He's a fucking yeah. I
Yeah,
thought so.
yeah.
I was like, I literally thought I was like, fuck. I thought it was gonna be like somebody else, but no, it's fucking Lego.
God damn it, I can't believe this. But then like she starts yelling like, oh, you can't do this to me, blah blah blah. And she like pulls out scissors to like shank him.
Dude, she like bad mouths him and
Yeah.
calls him all these names.
Oh yeah, like, you're a monster and all this
She's like,
shit.
she's like, fucking knew it.
I knew it all along. I knew it would be
And
you. Uh, but then
you damn
like
bastard.
he just pulls out like this letter, and it was actually revealed that he and Tem were friends, and Tem had a crush on the female alpaca, and he wrote her a love letter, as you do in Japan. Um, and he was planning on giving it to her, but sadly died beforehand. So Legoshi, when he found out the news, he was like, I have to let her know. This is my duty as his friend. Um, so she realizes that he's, a good guy, and like thanks him
Good
for
job,
doing that.
Lego.
Yeah, good job, Lego.
Good job.
Next up, we meet Haru, who is she's a little rabbit. She's a cute little rabbit.
Who's voiced by Kyrie from Digimon.
That's your one
Literally.
takeaway.
Like literally, I told Lizer, I was like, when we got in our voice chat, I was like, hey, is she the same voice actress as Kyrie from Digimon? Because that's all I saw was when I heard her voice was Kyrie.
I just
Is
realized
that you?
I don't have a picture of Haru.
Oh my god,
How did I fuck that up? Here's Legoshi, by the way.
there's Lego.
It's a very small picture of Legoshi, but it's something. But we meet her, and she's just a small white rabbit. I think she's a dwarf rabbit, but I don't think they tell us
Yeah,
that yet. Oh, they do?
she's a dwarf rabbit.
Okay. So she's a
Because
dwarf
like
rabbit.
one girl's like straight up like fucking. Oh, keep going.
Yeah, this is my episode to review. Excuse you. So she's a dwarf rabbit, and we see that she's being bullied like really bad by a group of three girls. I think it's what, two cats and a harlequin rabbit. Hey, it's Haru.
Eh,
This I
eh.
swear I saved that picture, and it's not in my file. Um,
No, I think she's being at first. I swore I only saw like two animals. I want to say two people, but they're not people. Two animals.
it was two at first. They threw water at her from the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was the two like cats, and oh, what did I walk into? Hey Jay, welcome to the Beastars review. uh, so they're like her minions, and the main one is a harlequin rabbit, and she's like, "Bitch, you slept with my boyfriend. How could you?" Harlequin rabbits are going extinct. How you're
That's
causing
probably
us to go extinct. And like this happens a couple times throughout the 5 episodes we watched, and she just keeps bringing that up.
dude. With her nasty attitude, I was like, I wonder why.
Yeah, exactly. And they keep pointing that out too. Like, dude, you're a bitch.
She
Um,
is a bitch.
but she's just basically like, she belongs to the streets. Yeah, true. Uh, she keeps like slut shaming Haru, and at this point we don't know anything about Haru, so we're like, what happened? Because all they say is like, oh, my boyfriend kissed you or whatever, and Haru's
Yeah.
like, no, he kissed me. Like, usual like high school level bullshit.
I still okay. Let me just make a point, like
Uh huh.
really quick. So when you talked about Beastars and you were telling me about Beastars, and I seen like promo pictures and stuff like that,
Uh
I
huh.
swear to you, with how he looked, I shit you not, I was not expecting this to be a high school setting. Like shit you not.
Who, Lego shit?
Yeah, Legoshi. Like
Yeah.
I swear, I thought he was older, and I for some reason I thought he was a detective. For some reason, I thought the whole premise of the show was that Lego was a detective and he was trying to solve like from pictures and like little clips that I see. I swear to you, I thought Lego was this old like this detective and he was like solving these murders. And when I finally started watching it, I was like, "Holy shit, that's not what it's about."
Jay says that they thought that too. I guess it makes sense because you probably seen pictures of him in uniform, so you see like the suspenders and the white shirt.
Yes, yeah. So
Yeah,
I thought he was a detective
yeah.
this whole
It
time. Like
doesn't
you
look
would
like a
talk about
typical uniform.
it. Yeah, it didn't. I didn't expect him to be a high schooler. So when I started watching this and I saw the high school, it was like, okay, his first case is gonna be at a high school, or actually, and I was like, holy shit, no, he's the high schooler.
His first case is a high school.
I was like so confused at first, and
Well,
I
there
was
you
like,
go. Now you've learned something.
this this is a high school setting.
uh, so the next like main character we meet is Louis, Rui, however you want to pronounce it. They use both, both is acceptable. And he's a male deer, and
My guy,
he's your guy.
my guy.
He's like your generic like I'm rich. I do whatever I want and I'll get whatever I want, and anyone who goes against me can kiss my ass type of guy.
Hey, you can tell I have a type, but
Yeah, or
go
like that.
on.
That's what he seems like for now.
For now.
For now. Uh,
I know deep down inside him there's really good. So
yeah. Um. So like some things happen, and like some people talk to other people, and like blah blah blah. Like go watch the show. I'm not gonna tell you every detail. But eventually it gets to a point where Louis wants to practice for a play that they're going to be doing, but it's late at night and the kids are supposed to go to the dorm rooms for curfew. So he's like, okay, Lego she's huge and imposing. Stand guard for me while I practice in the theater. And Lego she is just like, well, I'm too timid to say no, so okay. So he's like outside the theater late at
inner
night,
monologuing.
inner monologuing to himself, and he suddenly like smells something, and they do this like cool like X-ray 3D thing where we see
Hmm.
the scent enter his nose, and it takes form like in his brain as a bunny, and it's revealed that he's smelling Haru because
It looks,
she's outside late at
it
night, and
looks like a
she's,
penis.
oh my god, and she's just like, I hate my life, I'm getting bullied, what did I do to deserve this level of shit? And you see like the energy go through him, like the scent goes through him like energy, and like spread through his veins and takes over his body, and it looks cool as fuck, and it looks like he's
Yeah.
being like set aflame, and he just like loses himself, and like she like her instincts set off and she like freezes, and in her head she's like, well, he can come get me, like all she sees is his eyes, and she's like,
Yeah.
he can come get me because I'm tired of this life. But then, contrary to her thoughts, her instincts kick off and she starts running. And it doesn't matter because one, she's not that fast
Boosted.
because of super small legs, but two, it's a gray wolf chasing her, and he just like zooms and just grabs her.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Yeah, he just grabs her, and he's just like there holding her for a second, which is basically just this image here, and then it just cuts to the credits. and I can't wait to hear you describe episode 2.
Oh my god. Well, I was telling Liza I usually take notes, but I didn't take I didn't take notes on the Lost podcast. So I was feeling very confident in myself with not taking notes. And then I was just telling him like, "Oh shit, I don't fucking know." but
Whoops.
but I'm going to do my best. So episode 2, um episode 2, he is about to devour her, but something happens and we really don't see. Then he wakes up the next day in his bed, and no, somebody's dragging him out. I don't remember his name, but it's a dog.
Jack.
A dog. Wow, that's like very generic for a dog.
Listen, I love Jack.
I'm not shitting on Jack. I'm just saying, like, anyways. So they drag him out of bed, telling him like, "Hey, we need to go eat. It's fucking breakfast time." So they go take him, and he's eating, and then a fox and a jackal, I think. Is it a jackal?
She remembers so well, guys.
Do I? Or
Oh,
don't I?
I don't know. This is your episode. I don't know.
Hey, I kind of remember the fourth one, anyways.
Jack Bauer? No, not Jack Bauer. Jack Barker.
Who? Jack Barker? Is that his name?
No, he's a
What?
dog, so he barks.
Oh my god. No, but I'm talking about the one the fox fights. I forgot what he is. A hyena? Maybe?
I don't know. It's
Quite-
just two like canines.
Just two canines start fighting because I think one steps on his tail or some shit, and then like Lego like stands up and he's like, "Knock it off," and then he starts like inner monologuing in his head. There's a lot of inner monologuing in this series.
A lot.
I was not expecting all that. Like, holy crap! And so, Louis, right? Louis, my guy,
Yeah.
my man,
Lulu.
my dude. Yeah, Lulu. So Louis breaks the fight, and then he apparently is like considered the symbol. Like he wants to be like the Beastar. Okay, so apparently the name of the anime Beastar is like this title that people can get, which I was not expecting. Cause seriously, Beastar, really?
It's the dumbest thing. Yeah, I hate that.
So, anyways, so if he's a symbol of like unity. So he ends up breaking the fight, and then
Dude, he's All Might. He's the symbol of peace.
Dude, maybe that should be our next episode, our next podcast. Boku no Hero Academia.
Boku no Pico.
Don't
Celeste has entered teapot mode.
stop. Anyways, so he breaks up the fight, and then they go to the drama club lessons, rehearsals, shit. And then so then during episode 1, which you did not mention, Louise ends up hurting his ankle. He ends up hurting his ankle. Oh wait, because it happens in my episode. Never mind. Never mind.
You messed up. No.
I messed up. So in my episode, then he flashed back because in the beginning of episode 2, he like just wakes up in his bed and really doesn't explain what happened that night. Like we don't know if he did hurt Haru or if he was able to break out of it. But what happened was that during the rehearsal between Louis and I don't remember the other guy's name, the one that was rehearsing with him, I guess he was gonna slip and fall. Louis like, "Nah, bitch, like I'm gonna save you."
No, I'm gonna slip and fall.
Yeah, so he ends up saving the other guy, and he ends up hurting his ankle, and that's when the guy runs out. And he's like, "Lego, come here."
Lego.
Lego. Some shit just happened. Lego.
Lego, help.
Lego. So then, because of that, he was able to like break out of it, and Haru was able to escape. Like she books it. She's like, "Bye, bitch." So then he goes into the drama. The auditorium gets Louis, and then bam, that's that right there on that shit. And so then he goes and he asks Louis, "Is he's okay?" And Louis is like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Like, don't worry about it, bud. You know, I'm Louis. I'm the great. I can handle this. I can handle this shit. Like don't sweat it. Like, there's a reason why I'm Louis. Why I'm the symbol, and everybody loves me.
Oh my god.
But enough about me." And so then, Lego and he's on the lighting team, or he's in like I know he's backstage, and somebody draws like a picture, and they're like, "Hey, go to the garden club and see if and get roses, because I want to do this for the door, because it'll match the final scene." And so then Lego's like, "Well, I can't go by myself because I'm a carnivore, and they're gonna get scared." So he convinces one of the I was about to say crewmate. No, they're not.
No, he's an
One
imposter.
of yeah. So what's his name?
I
I
don't even.
forgot.
I never learned his name in the 3 times I've watched this episode.
But yeah,
He's just the anteater.
yeah, he's just this little tiny little. That's what he was, an anteater.
Yeah. That's a really small picture.
Oh yeah, look how small he is compared to him.
Yeah.
Freaking Lego. Fuck.
He's a beast.
He's tall.
He's
So then they go.
Beastar.
He's tall. So then he ends up going. So both of them end up going to the garden club, and the whole time. Oh, so then they go in, and then Haru opens the door, and then Lego's like shitting bricks. He's like, "Fuck."
That's the best way you could have worded that.
Like he's shitting bricks because he's like, "Fuck, that's Haru." I mean, he doesn't know her name, but he's like, "That's the bunny that I attacked last night. Like, she's gonna know who I am, and I'm gonna get in trouble, and shit's gonna go down, basically. Like, cause fuck."
Jesus,
And
he
so
tried to click the picture that I put up.
and so then there he goes again, inner monologuing, trying to come up with excuses to like get out of there. And then he's like, "Okay, I'll just pretend I have an errand to do." For someone who didn't take notes and has like a really bad memory, I fucking remember this shit. So anyway, so then he's like, "I gotta come up with an excuse." He's like, "Oh, I know, I'll say I have an errand to do." And so like he was about to like open his mouth and say it, and then his anteater friend dude was like, "Hey, there's an errand I have to do," and he books it, and he leaves him. He's like, "You can handle it, Lego. Like, don't worry, you got this,
Yeah,
bro.
you got
Like,
this,
you
man.
got it.
You're a wolf,
You got
dude.
this, bro." And so then Lego's like, "Holy fuck. Like, holy fuck." Like, shit's gonna hit the fan. And then she talks to him like normal. Like, "Yeah, you can get some fucking plants and shit. Like, don't worry about it." And then like and so then he's just talking, and like, a lot of inner monologuing, and then finally he's like, "How did you hurt your arm?" And he's like, "Stupid. Why'd you tell her that? Like, you're just like, outing yourself out." And then she's like, "I don't remember." And then even I'm like, "Oh shit, like how does she not remember? Like,
Yeah.
how could you not remember getting attacked?" I'm pretty sure if somebody were to attack me, I would remember that shit.
It was so emotional and so in her emotions she was like she blocked it out.
Like she blacked out. She was
Yeah,
like, erase that memory. That could
exactly.
happen. That shit happens.
I wanted to die, but then I almost died and I forgot.
And so then she's like, "Well, I need flowers," but he didn't say it like that. But he needs flowers for his club. But then she's like, "Nah, if you want these flowers, you gotta do some shit for me."
Hmm.
And so Lego's like, "Okay, what do you want me to do for you? Like, what do you want me to do for you?" And so Haru just has them like move some stuff around.
Yeah, just move some potted plants.
She's like, they're about to die out here. Like, they need some sun. So anyway, so he finishes that, and then they go inside, I guess, like a shed that's like has a bed in it for some reason.
For some reason.
Yeah, and then so then they're talking, and then I know she's like saying thank you for moving it, and then he's like, no, it's fine, like don't worry. And she's like, oh, let me repay you. And then in my head, to be honest, I was like, I don't get this. Like, he wanted your roses, and you said for him, if you wanted my roses, like you got to move shit around for me. But now you're saying like, thank you, let me repay. Like, bitch. Like that doesn't make
she
it.
thinks he wants her rose.
Her rose. She thinks he wants to deflower her. Ah. And so she's like stuttering, but at the same time he's inner monologuing. So he's like talking to himself, and she's just like standing there, like, okay, like what is it that he wants? And that's when she's like, oh, okay, I know what you want. Like, I know, I got that. And so while he's inner monologuing, she starts like stripping, and he's still inner monologuing while she's stripping. So he's not paying attention because he's like lost in his own little world, like trying to think of something. I don't know what. I forgot what he was thinking, to be honest. And so she gets naked, and then she like starts like undoing his pants. Even while she's undoing his pants, he's not even like realizing it. I forgot what snaps him out, and then he's like, holy freak, what you doing, woman? Like, what you doing?
It was the
woman?
suspenders.
Was it the suspenders?
Yeah, that's when he was like, wait a second, and then she like undoes his belt.
Yeah, there she is. In her bra and panties.
Why was that ill.png? Because it's fucking gross, dude. Look at that.
Fucking furries. Anyways. And so he's like, no. And then, okay, I'll admit, I thought this scene was funny because, like, he gets all flustered, and she's like, oh, you great fur. Like, starts, like, running her fingers through his great fur. And then he's like, nah. Like, oh, she was like, I never done it with the carnivore before.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do it with a large carnivore. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, she's into that kinky shit, like...
She's the true carnivore, Jay says.
There's
True.
no shame. No shame. Like, hey, you gotta... If you want to get what you want to get it, you know?
Yeah,
like, no shame here. Not gonna kink shame. That's her prerogative, and I'm okay with that shit.
Yeah, man.
And so he, like, freaks out, and he, like, buckles his pants, and then he like runs and he like slams the door on his tail. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I thought that was funny. I chuckled. It takes a lot for me to chuckle watching like anime or shows. Like, I'll admit, like it takes a lot for me to laugh when I watch an anime or a show, and that made me chuckle. And so then he runs out, and then he runs into his anteater friend. And his anteater friend was like, what's wrong? And he's like, nothing happened. And then that's the end of episode 2.
Woo!
Woo!
That was the episode that I really wanted to hear you talk about. Ooh, your gray furs. How far down does it go? And I was like, no!
It went down far.
It goes all the way, baby. So episode 3 starts out kind of with a flashback about how the anteater even found out about Haru sleeping around people. And it actually turns out that he's friends with the boyfriend of the bitch rabbit from before, the Harley Quinn one. And the boyfriend was bragging about getting with Haru and how he thinks he's in love with her. And then their other friend is like, oh wait, you mean the girl from the flower club? Yeah, I banged her out too. She does this weird thing when she sleeps, and she always cleans up after we're done. And the rabbit's like, wait, what? And that's how we find out that she just, like, sleeps with people.
Yep. It's a hobby, but you know what? She gotta make her coin, you know?
Well, that's the thing. She's not even making money off of it. She's just doing it.
Oh, no! Haru!
Yeah. Because that was, like, a complaint when this anime first came out, was people were like, oh, she's, like, a sex worker. She's selling her body. It's like, no, she's not selling it. Like, she has her reasons behind doing this. Um,
I I want to know what the reasons are.
uh, anyway, moving on. uh, it goes back to like when Legoshi like freaks out and he like runs out, and then we get to see like Haru's perspective, and she's just like, "What the hell? What?" And she realizes that she had the wrong idea, and she just kind of like laughs about it and says that he's weird. And meanwhile, poor Legoshi's like hyperventilating in the staircase, and he's having an existential crisis while he inner monologues again. And the anteater comes back and like tries to find out if they banged it out. And that's when he tells Legoshi about the rumors about Haru, how she like sleeps with anyone who asks and all that shit. And Legoshi, being the kind, gentle wolf he is, he like basically says, no, she's a good person, but we should find another way to get our flowers. Like, I don't want to go back there. And he just like walks away and drops the topic.
No,
Uh,
I don't blame you, Lego. If somebody came at me that hard, I'll probably be a little frightened myself. So
uh, so later at the drama club, it's revealed to Legoshi that every member of the club has been scouted, and you can't just join the club. You have to be scouted. But the thing is, they're all scouted based on weird things about their past. Like, the guy telling him this is like, I was abandoned by my family and raised by a completely different species of animal. And then he starts like pointing out like, this one did this and this one did that, and so on and so forth. So Legoshi's just like, okay, so what is like Louis' abnormality? And episode continues on.
yeah, I
Uh,
want to know that too, Lou. What is Louis?
uh,
Lego. I'm with you on that.
no spoilers, but it's like kind of deep, honestly.
Wiki, I go.
um, so like a bunch of things happen, and like Legoshi goes into the room that Louis is in. It's just like a little office, I guess he has, because he's like the fucking star pupil of the school. Um,
He's a badass.
yeah,
He is
and
my dude.
he was like fixing up his leg, like putting a compress on it, and he hears the door open, so he starts panicking because he doesn't want to show weakness to anyone. But it was just Legoshi, who's basically at this point like his most trusted person, but he treats him as a slave.
Yeah.
But he gets mad that he just walked in, and he basically like starts to have a confrontation with Legoshi, and he's trying to get him to bite him. And he basically has like a Napoleon complex about being an herbivore, and Legoshi, he refuses. He pushes him away, and he says like, "Of course I'm strong. I'm a gray wolf. I'm a carnivore. I have natural strength." But your strength is so much more powerful because you're an herbivore. It means so much more coming from you. And he just like he basically just leaves.
And Louis like pissed
Yeah,
off. He
Louis
doesn't
Louis
like that.
pissed.
He doesn't
Uh,
like that answer.
then there's like an announcement while Legoshi's walking, and it's like biology time or something like that. And he goes to like there's this section of the school that has all these rooms, and they're meant to be like personalized for different species of animals to like make them feel at home, I guess, and like to calm their instincts or something. Um, and Legoshi's a wolf, so his room is I couldn't find a picture of the whole room, but it's like all of them sit on the sofa, and there's like a synthetic moon on the ceiling, and they just sit there looking at it. And he stays there for a little bit to relax, and then he leaves. He goes up to a balcony and like looks out across like the schoolyard, and he's like, "Oh, what is this feeling I have? Oh, I think I'm happy," and like his tail is wagging, and he thinks about how he wants to see Haru again, and it cuts
He's
to
lusting for the bunny.
he's lusting for the bunny. Yeah, it cuts to Louis, who's getting ready for the premiere of their show that they're gonna be doing. He's
By the
still
way,
hurt.
I like the costume. Costume's A+.
Yeah, the costume's pretty good. Uh, he's gonna play the main character Adler, which is like a Grim Reaper. Here's the costume.
Pretty badass.
Yeah, and according to them, it's unusual that a herbivore would be playing this character. So it's like such a big thing for him, and he doesn't want to miss it for any reason. So he's still hurt, but he's hiding it. Um, so he's like hyping himself up, and then everyone besides him is like in two lines, and he's walking down the middle, and he's basically giving a speech like, "Oh, we have to do this. The last rehearsal was so good, and you guys are doing so well." And each time he says something, he's like, "That's a lie. I'm the one holding all this stuff together. It's all because of me." And like he's just praising himself because he's a dickhead. And the only
He's
one to
my
like notice
dickhead.
this, he's your dad. The only one to notice this is Lego Shoe, who's like working the lights. And he's like, I think that Louis said all that for himself.
Yeah, he
and
did.
and they do the show, and it goes off without a hitch. And the curtains close, and we see through Louis' eyes. He's like, "Oh, I did it! Oh my God, that performance was amazing!
I'm the
Oh,
best.
I'm the best. Why can't I feel my legs?" And then he just collapses, and
Bonk.
everyone's like running to him, and he can't move. He's like, "What is all this commotion about? Let's go do the standing ovation or whatever it is." And it just like cuts the credits.
Cuts to credits. Then it's my episode. And what happens is the next episode starts off with him waking up in the infirmary. Yeah. And he's like, "What the fuck's going on, guys?" And they're like, dude, you just like collapsed on the floor." And he's like, "What? No, we gotta do curtain call." They're like, "No, no, no, dude. You're injured. You're in bed." And so he's worrying, and then one of them's like, "Oh no, don't worry. You collapsed, after the curtains, like fully closed." And so he's relieved. He's like, "No one saw me at my weakest." Because apparently Louis really does care about, his what's that word? I forgot the word.
Image.
Like, image, identity, yeah, image, yeah, his image. And so then they're all talking about like who should play. Oh, so then who should play, and then the tiger,
Yeah.
Billy,
Bill Nye the Tiger guy.
Bill Nye, is that his name? Bill.
Yeah.
So Bill says something to Louise. I forgot what he says, but it was like total opposite of what everybody else says. So I know everybody's like, "Oh, you need a rest" or whatever, and then Bill's like, he says some shit, and then Louise like, "That's my man right there,
That's
Bill."
my guy.
Like, "That's my man right there, Bill." And then he's like, "You know what, guys? Bill's gonna take over for me. He's gonna take Adler." I didn't say Adachi this time. It's Adler. And so he's like, he's gonna be the next Adler. Oh shoot!
Little sign in here.
Wow, you hear that shit?
There. We'll have your PC ready.
That's my PC finally like restarting.
Nice.
Your voice or the
How do I turn it off?
away. And if you
I
like-
don't know. We're a professional podcast. You okay there, Celeste? She mute herself. Oh boy.
Okay, I'm back. It wouldn't shut up. Anyways,
Has she tried turning it off and turning it back on again?
okay, no, I mute it. She's quiet. Shh. Anyways, where was I?
You're talking about
Oh,
Bill.
Bill. So he's like, "That's my man. He's gonna do Adler." And then they're like, "Okay, well, since he's doing Adler, Lego is gonna take Bill's role." And so, of course, Lego's like, "I can't fucking do this shit," because he's really down on himself. He's such a depressed wolf. Poor Lego. Anyways, poor Lego. F in the chat for Lego. And so then they go. So they're like, "Okay, we gotta practice." So they go back to the auditorium, and Lego's like, "I can't do this," and then Bill's like, they're like, "It's just such a minor role, like you'll get it." And then Lego's like, "Well, if it's such a minor role, why don't we just like cut it out?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Nah, bitch, it don't work like that here." And so Bill and Lego go center stage, and they start sword fighting, and things get personal for some reason.
For some reason. What do you mean, some reason?
I mean, like, no, I for me it was like, really, why are they like getting all rough? Like, it made no sense to me.
How did you not see the whole thing before?
What with what?
Where Bill was in the bathroom with a vial of herbivore blood?
Oh, I thought that was afterwards. I forgot. Oh, that was before. Okay, then never mind. Scratch whatever I said. Lego runs into him in the bathroom. No, he follows him. He follows him after the fight into the bathroom, and then that's when he's like, "Oh, so now you're stalking me?" One of us is wrong, and it's not me.
It's 100% you.
One of us is wrong, and it's
He's
not
suspicious of him beforehand, and he follows him into the bathroom, and that's when he finds out about the blood. And then they have the fight on stage.
me. No, that's not the fight. That's not the fight. I'm talking about the sword fight. That's the scene. That's when they actually. That's after the blood one. I'm talking about the other one.
Oh.
Oh,
Well, it's still because of the blood.
no, that's after. That's the sword fight is before they find the blood vial.
Yeah, but he fights him because of the blood, though.
That scene,
he
yes.
smells the blood.
Yeah, on this one, yes.
Yes.
But the one, yes. The other one, he did smell something, but he didn't know what it was.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck off. Go fix your fucking computer.
Hey, it is fixed. It is fixed, actually. That's why I was talking, because it's like, hey, I'm done. I'm ready. Come on, like, mess around with me right now.
How far does that gray fur go?
Pretty far. Anyways, back to what I was saying. That I was like 100% right,
Like 70.
but I was right. So, anyways, so they start sword fighting, and like I said, they like get really serious, and even everybody is like, "Whoa, like, what's going on between those two?" And I mean, they're both talking shit to each other. They're saying some shit. And so then after the fight, that's when he goes to the bathroom, and that's when he realizes, oh shit, you have a vial. And then Bill's like, oh, you know the smell. That means you must have killed before. And then they talk shit more. They always talk shit.
They talk shit more.
They do. I don't remember line from line. I just remember they talk shit to each other. He's like, "You killed before," and then like he's like, "Oh, you're not saying anything, so that means I'm right."
It's the same argument my mom used against me when I was a kid.
And so yeah, then that shit happens, and apparently at the same time, well, not at the same time, but during this episode, there's a newspaper club. And
Yeah.
like the mouse rat dude slash like editor leader dude is like hella mad because they didn't get a picture of Louis without the mask. And then he's like, "Come on, you guys gotta go back in there and you gotta get me a shot." Apparently this is relevant, you know, to my whole thing because it was like the fucking big chunk of shit. Yeah. And so he's like, "You guys gotta go back. You know, I need my pictures of Louis, you know, maskless."
Yeah, because they don't know he collapsed and he's not in the second show.
Yeah, they don't know because curtain call, blah blah blah. Anyways, so they go, and so they're getting ready for the fight, the scene. And so like right from the start, Bill's like sweating bullets and he's like nervous, and he can, I guess people are murmuring like, "That's not Louis. That's, you know, like who is this chump basically?"
Who is this chump?
Who is this chump? Like, this is not Louis. I didn't come here to see this guy. I came here to see Louis. And so this guy like clearly sees it, clearly hears it, and he's like panicking, and you know, he's like, he's gonna try his best. And so then the scene comes. No, so it's not even Lego scene, and like Lego just like goes off on stage and starts like beating the shit out of him, like fucking closed fist, like blue eyes, like your picture says. Where's your picture? Look at that black guy. That black guy's by Lego. So, and they're fighting, and everybody's like, like the people in the play know that this is not a part of it, and they're like, what's going on? But the people in the audience don't have a clue that they're fighting, and so that, like, they're fighting for real, like Lego has a vendetta against this chump right here, and this chump. And so then, while they're fighting, the vial flies out of Bill's pocket, and it like rolls off stage to someone's foot, and then someone picks it up. It doesn't show who picks it up at that moment. And so then they're fighting, and then the Bill's like, you know what? This is my performance. This is my show. Just fall down, and let's be on our way. I get the final blow. And so then, like, yeah, he gets Lego on the floor, and he's like about to stab him with the sword, and then like Louise comes out and, like, all heroic, and like bam, like knocks that sword out of freaking Bill's hand, and he's like, "You're an imposter. I am the real Adler." And he like puts on the mask, and everybody's like going freaking wild in the stands, like,
Oh my god!
and so then the show goes on, like, and afterwards, Louis like, like, you guys are like out of the drama club because of the shit you guys pulled.
Yeah.
And some shit, and then because like he shows them the vial, and he's like, you guys are fucking big ass in trouble.
You skipped like one part that I actually wanted to touch on, is that they're trying to like break up the fight, and Bill gets Legoshi in like a hold, and he just like digs into Legoshi's back with his
Oh
claws,
yeah,
and
he-
like
yeah,
scars him bad.
yeah,
And he
it's
says
owie.
matching stripes from one predator to another. This is from the manga, but it happens exactly the same way.
It actually does happen. Yeah, that happens in the anime too. Totally forgot about that, actually.
Yeah, it was like from everything we've seen so far, like they've shown blood and stuff like from when the guy died in the first episode and stuff. But that was like the first like real like, oh shit, like stuff can happen
Yeah.
in this show.
No, yeah, he like dug his claws into
Yeah, he got in there
I felt
deep.
bad. I felt bad for Lego.
But then it pretty much goes to my episode, right?
Yep.
And my episode picks up like the next day, and we get the whole thing of like people. Oh my god, there's just sirens going off. I'm so sorry.
Hey, it looks like I'm not the only one causing trouble this podcast.
We are a professional podcast.
Please subscribe.
Yeah, follow us on Spotify and iTunes. And Google, even though they say that we're up there, but they're still processing our videos like a week later. Whatever. Anyway, episode 5 picks up, and it's like the next day, and people are starting to spread what happened at the play, but they're doing it like greatly exaggerated. So like, Jack is walking by, and there's a girl talking about what happened. And it's like, oh yeah, it was super violent. There was a machine gun and like a flamethrower, and Jack is like, what the fuck? And he's like kind of happy about it. He goes to Legoshi, and he's like, dude, they're talking about this. Isn't that cool? And I love Jack. Jack is fucking adorable. he's like, he's a dog, so he's just like, oh, I love you. Hey, let's have fun.
He's man's best friend.
Exactly.
There we go.
So it cuts back to the scene that you were talking about before, where Louis is telling them off about the fight, and he's like, you can do whatever you want. I don't care. Don't do it on the stage. Don't ruin that for everyone else. The stage is a sacred place. I worship the stage. And he like pushes the vial of blood.
The stage.
He licks the stage. I sacrificed my leg for the stage. But he pushes the golden retriever. Yeah, he's a golden. He pushes the vial of blood into Bill's hand, and was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, he was like, I expect this from you, because I don't look up to you as much as I look up to Legoshi. Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
Cause more shit problems.
But then the school's paparazzi, the newspaper club, is suddenly behind them, and they're like, oh, we want to have an interview with you guys. And that's where we see like Louis. He's a great liar and improv artist, and he's like, oh, we wanted to showcase this and that, and he just bullshits his way through it, and he's like,
My guy.
He's like, okay, well, any further questions, you can ask these two, and just leaves them there, and they're like, um, so then it goes back to Jack and Legoshi talking, and they're like on the roof, and he says that he knows Legoshi's rage was real. And Legoshi's surprised, which is weird to me because literally 2 minutes before that, he was like, I know Jack knows that my rage was real because we've known each other so long. And that Jack is like,
Hey,
yeah,
buddy.
I know your rage is real. And he's like, what? You knew? He's like, dude, you just said he would know.
That inner monologue. Come
Yeah,
on.
he confirmed it with the inner monologue, and then was like, wait, no, how can he
Pay
know?
attention to your own inner monologue.
So they're like walking, and Jack is saying like, "Oh, you've changed a little bit. You know, I'm happy to see it. I wonder what could have changed you. Could it be love?" And then he like keeps walking. He's like singing a song like, "Oh, Lego, she's in love," like that kind of thing. And he's walking, but Lego she stopped as soon as he mentioned that he might be in love. And Jack notices this and is like, "Wait!" and runs back and starts chasing after Lego. She's like, "Oh, who is it?" And he starts like naming girls, and it's like, "Oh, is it the wolf girl from here, or the girl from this class?" And he's like, is she even a wolf? Maybe she's just a canine. Oh, is she even a canine? And he's just like listing all carnivores, and he could not be further from the truth.
I'm
And,
just like, how Lego, like, you just inner monologue. Like, I don't know how you like the whole time you're with her, you literally were just inner monologuing.
yeah. Um,
But
but
go on.
but then we have a scene change, and it's Haru's garden room, and we get the sudden revelation that she's she's banging it out with Louis.
Hey, my guy getting
Yep,
some.
he's getting some of the Cabbage Patch over there.
Yeah, he is. Good for him. Good for him.
Then later the drama kids get together, and we learn that in this universe evolution worked pretty much the same way that it does in our world with dinosaurs and meteors and all that shit. And then apparently they have a festival to celebrate it, and they're going to be making some kind of like big display for the festival. And they need to start like collecting materials and coming up with ideas. So then we get a scene change again, and Haru is getting bullied again by the bitch bunny and her friends, and they go through all the motions again of how the Harlequin rabbits are going extinct and blah blah blah. And Haru's
So
just
blah,
like,
that's your boyfriend. Blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
yeah, exactly. And oh, the funny thing was just like, oh, did you get with my boyfriend again? And she's like, actually, I haven't seen him, so maybe he just fucking finally gave up on you. um, so Haru like basically reaches her breaking point, and she just gets up and is like, listen, fuck you, fuck your friends, fuck your
Fuck your
bushy ass
man.
haircut, like,
Literally, fuck your race.
yeah,
She literally-
literally fuck your man. Uh, and they start like backing up and panicking, and eventually they run away, and Haru's like self-fulfilled. She's like, oh yeah, I got them to back down, but in reality it's because Legoshi is behind her and he's like superimposing, so that's why they ran away. She turns and sees him, and then he starts panicking and has another inner monologue about how much he missed her, and he doesn't hear a word she's saying
For
to
a whole
him.
month. For a whole month.
um, uh,
Go on.
so she's like, I don't accept anything from the men I've been with, and tries to like walk past him, and he just like blocks her way, like unintentionally. It's just that he wants to keep talking to her, even though he barely said anything to her. And he's like, technically we didn't do anything, and she pauses. She's like, oh, that's right. You want to go get dinner together? Which is like weird in this situation, but whatever. So they go to the lunchroom, and I wanted to point out that like Legoshi is sitting down, and it's perfectly fine, and her legs are just dangling, and she's like kicking them around. She can't reach the floor because she's so tiny. So they're sitting there, they're eating, and Legoshi is starting to panic because he realizes he doesn't know her name. He never asked her name, and I don't think
He's
she
freaking
knows
out while
his either.
monologuing.
Yeah. I don't think she knows his either, but she's not too worried about it. But he's just like, what do I do? How do I ask somebody their name when like I'm already speaking to them when I've known them for like this many days, blah blah blah. Um, and he's just like silently eating his food the whole time, and every time he takes a bite, she kicks her leg, and she just keeps doing it, and we hear her finally in her monologue, and the reason it's happening is because every time she sees his fangs, her body's like run, just like her instincts are kicking in. She tells him that it's like rude to stare. They finish up their meal, they leave. They're like walking to the dorms together, and she realizes that like her shoe is unbuckled. So she's like, "Oh, give me a second to fix this." So she leans down, she starts fixing her shoe. He's like, "Oh, I'll do it," and he just like buckles her shoe for her, which I guess that was a Herculean task for her to do. Uh, and then he like stares in her eyes, and he's like, "Oh, bunny eyes are black, huh?" And you take it as an inner monologue, but he actually says it out loud because she's like, "Huh? What do you mean? By the way, my name's Haru, not Bunny." And it's just like that's it. He's speaking to her. He's happy. She's speaking back. His tail starts wagging, and then the credits roll.
And that's Beastars.
And that's Beastars. That's the entire first season. Oh, you got the her legs
I got that.
dangling.
Yeah.
And she's sitting on his book bag.
I got you, my dude.
Oh man. So before I ask you what you thought of the episodes as a whole, what did you think of just Legoshi? Like not his monologues, but just him as a character.
Honestly, he's not a bad character, but he gets on my nerves sometimes.
I can understand that.
And I mean, like, talk about like self-doubt, and I was just, as a main character, I kind of like expect a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's always like, like, yeah, there are some anime where the character is down on themselves, but it doesn't take them like that long to at least get, a little boost morale.
Right.
He needs one like big time.
Oh, definitely.
And-
And he does get one.
That's when. Like
He-
when?
Well, this is the thing. He gets one in this season. He does. But it's not. It's. How do I want to explain this? Like I don't want to give anything away.
Okay, so then also another thing that kind of like I'm kind of like on is the relationship between him and Haru. I mean, in all honestly, they've only spoken like a little bit to each other before they have this like little lunch
Yeah,
date.
he's just like completely enamored.
And yeah, he freaking wants her. Like he's in love. Like I said, he's been thinking about her for a whole month.
Yeah.
When he hardly said anything to her.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I get love at first sight, and you have your crushes and stuff. But I mean, to be that fully obsessed with someone at that, to that extent, I would expect more interactions, or at least not interactions, but at least him, like let's say he kind of like watched, like he's seen how she's been, or how like like, oh, he noticed her doing this, or he noticed her doing that, just like some, like I need more,
Yeah. So it actually gets to the point where even he starts to question it, and he's like, "Do I really like her, or is it my base instinct saying I want to eat her, and I'm just trying to get close to her to give myself an opportunity?" He starts to think that his own brain is tricking him.
I mean, like he did get like some stuff like shoved in his freaking brain.
And as far as what I was saying before with like him getting that character boost, he gets multiple, and each time he gets better. Like he gains more confidence as the series goes. Like I'm way far ahead in the manga. I'm probably around like season 3 or 4, and this is season 1. He definitely gets one in season 1 though. He definitely gets a boost, and you start to see the confidence, and like he starts to trust himself more in his abilities as a wolf.
Good job, Lego.
Yeah.
That's all I want. That's all I want from him. Like honestly, less inner monologuing and actually talking. Like come on, Lego. Like he had so many opportunities, like with not just her, but with other characters too, where there could have been like so many situations that could have been resolved like right then and there if he just talked
Yeah,
instead of
like
in a
it even
monologue.
shows like when you were talking about when the two canines were fighting because one stepped on the other's tail. It
Uh-huh.
shows like, okay, this is Legoshi. He's 6'1". His claws are like 2.5 inches long. He weighs this much. His bite power is this much. And then compared it to the other animal, and then he uses that information to avoid battle.
Oh yeah, and then I forgot to mention this, but like Lego the whole time was thinking about ways to lose,
Yeah, 100%.
and
And
even
Louis knows this, and he keeps pointing it out.
yeah, yeah, Louis like, hey, man, come on, I see your brain working, like, come on.
The way I look at it is Legoshi is a carnivore with the mind of a herbivore, and Louis is an herbivore with the mind of a carnivore.
Yeah, that's true. I do see
And
that.
they constantly clash. It gets worse later on. Within these first 5 episodes, I can honestly say I hate Louis, but by the time season 1 is done, I love Louis.
Hey, it's barely 5 episodes, and I already love Louis. So.
Yeah, but it becomes he goes from like asshole to like self-sacrificing hero.
Does he die?
No,
I gotta pull up the wiki.
you could just watch the show. So I'll take that as you're not going to continue past the 5 episodes.
I might. I mean, like, I am interested in it, but it's not to the point where it's like I gotta watch it right now.
What can I say to you that would make you more interested in watching this?
Um, all I want to know about is Louis. To be honest, like, does Louis get like an arc or something?
Yes.
Is it like a good arc? Like, is
Oh
it
my
like
god, yes.
like is it a lot of action or what kind of arc is it?
Um, hmm.
Is it like one of those like backstory arcs that kind of like helps with the situation at hand that's going on at that moment?
Both. We get a backstory
Oh.
arc and we get a current day arc.
Hey,
So,
when?
so in this season, you get some backstory. Uh, so it's actually around where that 5 episode ends. We learned about well, we will learn about this group called the Shishigumi, and everyone's like, what is this group? And Legoshi goes around asking about it, and
Sounds like a bunch of sword fighters. Am I right? No.
and what it actually turns out to be is basically their world's version of the Yakuza, and
Yeah, kind of
and they're
almost.
run by lions, and this is from the manga, and that's like the leader of them.
Of course, Haru would be like right in front of
Yeah.
Dab, right in front of.
So there's going to be a situation with Haru. There's
Of
going to
course.
be, let me just say, you love Louis. Louis
Yes.
is very very closely tied to this group.
Oh, oh. Does it has to? Was he taken in? He was taken in. He was
No.
taken in.
No,
He was,
no.
cause
It's like nothing to do with his money or anything like that. It's to be honest, it's more of a season 2 thing, but it begins in this season as to what his connection is with them, and it's 100% a thing of his own power and his own will.
Oh.
Yeah.
I might continue it a lot sooner than I anticipated.
Another thing that you can look forward to if you decide to keep watching and you eventually watch season 2, they actually pick up on the fucking murder mystery.
What murder mystery?
Yeah, exactly. Because
The
literally
llama one?
they completely forget about the alpaca Tem.
The alpaca, there you go. I called him a llama.
Yeah. They basically completely forget about him. And literally the last scene of the final episode of season 1 is like Legoshi's looking at like the blocked off door that they have with his like memorial. And he's
By
like,
the
oh,
way,
yeah.
By the way, that's where we first meet Louis too. Is at the the alpaca's memorial little site.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, so they're both there. And the last thing you see is like through the eyes of someone else watching Legoshi and like coming up behind him. and it just like
Ooh.
ends, and that's the last scene of this season. And we find out,
Cliffhanger.
yeah, we find out next season like who it is, uh, how we can take them down and everything. Um, and you remember how Legoshi smelled the scent of an herbivore and like his instincts kicked in. He like gained speed and shot after Haru.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how he would be if he ate meat?
Pretty OP.
My guy turned Super Saiyan.
Oh, is that supposed? No. Yeah, look at his fucking fur just like sticking up.
Yeah. He just like
Legend.
he gets super buff. He gets faster. His like fur sticks up. He did not
Damn, look
have
at
those
that fur.
abs before he ate meat. I just want to point that out.
No, he eats meat.
Yeah, he's gonna eat meat. I can safely say that's. I mean, it's a spoiler, but you know, when you see
Damn,
because
Lego.
we learn who the killer is way beforehand, and you're like, okay, there's no way that he can beat this guy, so
Uh-huh.
he's gonna have to eat meat. And they keep saying it
So
throughout the whole season, and he's just like, no, I don't want to.
I don't want to, you guys. I'd
Yeah.
like peace and prosperity
And rabbits.
and rabbits. I wanna. I don't. I want to eat a rabbit, but I don't want to eat it that way.
Oh god. Uh, another thing we'll see in this season after these 5 episodes is we'll get introduced to another main character, and she becomes like alternate love interest for Legoshi, and her name is Juno, and she is a female gray wolf, and I think she's
Oh,
adorable.
she's cute.
She's so adorable. She's a first year, and she's like, "Oh, my senpai, I love him so much." And Legoshi's like, "I want to bang the rabbit."
He wants the rabbit. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. The rabbit wants him too.
Is there anything that you wish you could have seen from this 5 episodes besides more Louis?
More Louis and more interactions. Honestly, you know, like I swore I was mainly in the mind of Lego.
Yeah,
Like I wish there was more interaction. I wish, you know, from the 5 episodes, I could have seen like a lot more from Lego. Like, come on, my dude, you need to like stick up for yourself more often.
I wish that the animation would have looked closer to the manga because look at these faces.
Ah,
Look at Haru, dude. She's got a fucking gremlin face.
that's funny. I like it.
uh,
Who's the one doing hee hee hee?
that's Haru.
Oh my god, is that Louis right there?
Yeah.
Nice.
And another thing to look forward to, you know, that there might be, you know, some people who are like, what the fuck? And there's gonna be some people that are like, I'm into this. We'll get to see Legoshi in a dress.
I want to see that, to be honest.
Legoshi in a
I
dress and
wanna
high
see that.
heels. You know what's the worst part about that?
What?
It doesn't happen just one time.
Nice.
It happens, and then it has to happen again later on, and somebody points out, like, hey, you're pretty good at walking in those heels, and he's like, yeah, I have practice. And they just never speak about it again. It's like, what? Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
I would totally watch that. But honestly, the only reason why I'll continue this, and I can't believe I'm fucking saying this shit, is because I want to see more Louis. That's it. Like, that's fucking it.
Louis...
Like, I'll...
Uh-huh.
No, like, that, like... I'm not a fucking furry, but...
Hey, I'm not either.
I'll watch more Louis. Like, Louis is my guy. You know, he's my dude.
Being a fan of Louis, I think you would really like when they finally get season 2 out, because that is very Louis-centric.
Like I said, I'll probably watch him more because of Louis,
Yeah.
but that's
Like,
my man. That's my dude.
Season 2 has a huge amount to do with Louis. And a big part of season 3 also, because it's like related to his backstory, is like other stuff happening.
Mm-hmm.
And we even find out more stuff about his backstory when season 3 comes out. It's really good. Louis' story.
My...
Considering,
dude.
like, usually my thing is, like, I hate a character and I just never love them. Like, I'll just
Uh-huh.
never learn to love them after I hate them. I absolutely hated Louis at first, and I just, like, adore him now.
Wow, how could you hate Louis at first though?
He's a dick.
Exactly.
I don't like characters like that.
No, there are characters that act like a dick that I despise.
Uh-huh.
But for some reason, with the characteristics as what Louis had, because I guess with me, like I can see right away that there's more to him, than what meets the eye. Like I can see it, and
He's a
you
transformer.
did you confirmed it. You did confirm it that he does get, he does redeem himself.
Uh-huh.
But no, I see it. Like I saw that Louis was grade A, my man.
I could always tell that there was, like, more to his story, but it's just the way that they presented it, especially in season 1, they don't give you too much to work with to like him. So someone like me who doesn't like a character like that, I was just like, dude, I hate this character. But by the time, like, I get to learn more, I was like, oh, okay, I understand now. But it almost seems like they want you to hate him at first.
Hmm. But no,
Yeah.
he is apparently a good guy.
So I can mark you down as a maybe if I can prove that there's more Louis stuff.
Yes.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll absolutely take it.
And my rating for this, I give it a 3.8 because there was a fucking lot of inner monologuing.
So a big reason that I love this show so much is because I actually relate to Legoshi a lot. Just based on the, like, big intimidating looking guy is actually quiet, thinks to himself a lot, doesn't really interact with people, has a few very close friends, and, like, really doubts himself a lot. And I was like, dude, what? And then it, like,
You're like, that's me.
yeah. And I'm not sure if this was, like, put down by the author herself, but I know the English voice actor Jonah Scott, who, by the way, streams on Twitch at Jonah Scoot, 2 O's instead of 1. He stated, he's battled with depression in real life, and he saw a bit of himself in Legoshi, and it was kind of like seeing Legoshi go through the stages and like open himself up and become happier in his story was like therapeutic.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that a lot. It does help to see a character like that, go through things and actually end up happy with themselves. So that's why I was so adamant on getting you to watch this, just so I can, help you help you see how I relate to it.
My man, you should have just told me from the start.
It's not the same.
No, it's funny because, like, you guys, like, you don't understand. Liza would just be like, watch Beastars, and I'll be like, no. Like, no.
Celeste, watch Beastars. No, I'm not watching the
And
furry anime.
Literally, like, I'm not watching the furry anime. Like, you will not get me to watch no furry anime. But I did end up watching the other furry anime.
Oh, Brand New Animal, yeah.
the raccoon girl.
Yeah, Brand New Animal.
Yeah, that one. Raccoon girl. But you guys, if you like a lot, like, it's honestly not a bad show. It's not like I don't have anything to shit on, to be honest.
Yeah, like, it's definitely not your thing, but it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. Like I said, the only thing I wish was there was less inner monologuing and more interactions with each other.
Yeah, which
because there was
does
a lot
happen later.
Which, like I said, there was a lot of situations they could have talked it out and, like, get things solved.
Like, if I could have made, like, a caveat for this week and been like, watch 6 or 7 instead of 5 episodes, you would have seen that, like, it suddenly just ramps up and there's, like, action and violence and everything.
Who knows? I might continue watching it after we're done with this. Because I want to see more Louis, like, I'm like, not to be, like, that one word, but Louis. What, lusting for Louis? Ew. Ew. That's fucking gross. But yeah. I'll definitely continue watching it for sure.
Cool. So, you have the honor of having the first thing we watch next year.
Drum roll, please. I thought I was gonna do Anastasia,
Uh-huh.
but I thought about it and I changed my mind.
Damn it.
I
wait, hold
changed my
on.
mind.
Hold on. You don't know how ready I was for this? Give me 1 second. I as a Christmas gift, I got the freaking music box from the movie.
Oh, shut up! I'm jealous.
Do you hear it?
Yeah, like I hate you.
I was
am
so
so
ready.
jealous.
I was so ready for you to be like, "Oh, Anastasia," and I was gonna pull it out and start playing it.
I changed my mind. Hey, guys, anyways, go watch Anastasia.
Yes, please.
It's a good movie.
We will
It
eventually
really
do
is.
that.
We will eventually watch Anastasia for the podcast. It's a good movie. Banger songs, a lot of banger songs. I am one for the villains. I love villain songs, and that villain song is top tier,
Oh
honestly.
yeah.
But no, I decided to change my mind. And I decided to go with, because I actually read the manga. I finished the manga, and my heart still like, I guess, still kind of like, in the little like, when you finish something, you like miss it,
Yeah, you get like this feeling of emptiness. Like, what do I do now?
Yeah. So I'm like, there is an anime for it, and it's kind of new, kind of. Its movie is like #1 in Japan right now. Do you know what it is?
Oh boy. I've been avoiding this anime. I have been avoiding this. Is it Demon Slayer?
Yes.
God damn it.
Kimitsu no Yabai.
I've been avoiding this because it's like I saw clips and stuff, and I've just been like, I don't want to watch this. Like,
Well, you're gonna have to watch it now.
It's so saturated by everyone just talking about it. I'm like, dude, I don't want to watch this.
See, and that's what I was talking about when I mentioned the other thing earlier, where I kept talking about that one anime, and it was like so hyped, and you're like, nah, I don't want to watch it. And I think I remember what it was. I'm pretty sure it was Attack on Titan.
Dude, it's too mainstream. Hipster lies.
By the way, which is funny because over the years, like now, like that anime now, it's like,
What, Attack on Titan?
yeah. I mean, it's not bad, but it's just like something I'm not into nowadays,
Right.
But what I'm into nowadays is Demon Slayer.
I can't escape this anime because even like
Yeah.
other things I watch, like we did the Hololive episode.
Uh-huh.
The Hololive girls talk about it.
Hey! Because they have good taste, man.
One of them went to go see the movie like 3 times. Like, Jesus Christ.
I don't need to see the movie. I read the manga. I already know what's up.
Well, I guess I'm gonna watch anime Michael Jackson.
A lot of people make that reference a lot. a lot. But no, I mean, like, and like, not trying to be spoily, not going to be a spoiler, but the one thing that breaks my heart is that in that movie, there's a character that everybody's gonna hate, and that's my favorite character, and that makes me so sad.
So am I watching the movie or am I watching the show?
No, you're watching the anime. You can't watch the movie because then you're like, what the fuck is this?
Don't tell me what to do.
Because basically the movie takes off after season 1.
Okay.
So yeah, there's no point of watching the movie.
And what is it available on?
It is available on Hulu It is available on Crunchyroll. I'm not sure if it's available on Funimation, to be honest. But I know it's on Hulu, and I know it's on Crunchyroll.
And I know it's on Pirate Bay.
I don't know what that is. That's Pirate Bay.
Never mind.
What is that? Is that like illegal shit or what?
I don't want to talk for legal reasons I can't explain.
Also, I was right about what I just said.
I can't confirm nor deny.
Okay.
I would like to speak to my lawyer.
Okay. But yeah, that is the anime we're gonna watch next. Is Demon Slayer. Hooray!
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 We're gonna see Demon Girl in a box and her brother.
Demon girl in a box that has like bamboo like tied to her mouth.
Yeah, I've seen many dojin.
No, that's gross.
Anyway, watch Demon Slayer with us for next week. Please give Beastars a try. At least the 5 episodes. The 5 episodes are kind of like the long point. It's a lot of talking, a lot of character and world building, but it definitely ramps up later.
Hey, I was someone who was like highly against Beastars for how long? Since it
like
came
a
out.
year.
Since it came out.
Yeah.
Since you watched it and mentioned it.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm giving it a shot, and I'm gonna continue watching it.
Yeah.
For Louis.
Yeah, so give it a try. Watch Anastasia. It's a great
Yeah,
movie.
watch Anastasia. That's a fantastic movie.
Yeah, it's on sadly it's on Disney Plus. So
You can buy it on YouTube, or you can find the DVD.
Yeah, they sell it on Amazon Blu-ray.
Yeah, there you go, people.
It might
The
still be on
option.
Netflix too. I don't know.
I don't think it's on Netflix no more.
It was on Netflix for the longest time, but I think now that it's on Disney, they had to take it down.
Yeah,
Fucking Disney. God damn it.
Monopoly over there, shit. You know.
Yeah. but check those out. Highly recommended. And since you're making me watch this, I already know what I'm going to have you watch.
You made me watch Beastars. Like,
Oh,
isn't
no.
that enough?
I'm not saying it as in like a bad thing. I just thought of what I can have you watch for the following week that you would probably like a lot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But we'll talk about that when the time comes.
Boku no Hero Academia?
No. If you really want a hint, I can say it's a movie.
Oh, Treasure Planet? No. Treasure Planet's a good movie, okay?
It is. It's one of my favorites. But that's not it.
Okay. I'll stop guessing.
All right. Oh, I'll leave you guys with that.